Welcome back to the news. Now, over the past few days, a team of Newsfirst explorers revealed to you the forgotten history of Sri Lanka's commercial capital, Colombo. On tonight's segment, Newsfirst Explorers, our team goes in search of the water gates of the fort, which were dubbed Water Porte.
Newsfirst Explorers, discovering Colombo's hidden secrets.
Yesterday, Newsfirst explorers went in search of the remnants of the fort built by the Portuguese. The construction of this fort ensured their rule of Kolontota. Initially referred as Kolompota, where the Portuguese, Dutch and the British made their way into the country for their invasions and trade. Today this place is known as the Queen's Jetty of the Colombo Harbour. The special gateway, which was built in the Portuguese fortress, was dubbed Water Porte. We travelled to the Colombo Harbour to locate this gateway. According to certain historical records, the water gate was located close to the northern breakwater of the harbour. When all the entrances to the fort were closed, only this gate was used. Access was only through water. It wasn't a task which could be completed by one person alone. Another interesting location of the Portuguese fort was their gunpowder cache. When searching for clues on its location, we found ourselves at the lake house. Our next stop was the flagstaff at the fort, which has been featured in many a song. The flagstaff was used to fly the Portuguese flag at the center of the fort, and at night a lamp would be raised on the flagstaff to guide ships coming into the port. The flagstaff, which was located down Bristol Street, was relocated to the Hulstorf Court Complex premises in 1988. Towering at 80 feet tall, the flagstaff could be split into four. Tomorrow, our expedition takes us to a wishing well.
If you have details on Colombo that you wish to share with the Newsfirst, you can log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk/explorers. Newsfirst Explorers, discovering Colombo's hidden secrets.
Newsfirst U reporter T.M. Rija from Bandaravela filed the following report.
At around 7 last night, a lorry that was travelling on the Bandaravela-Haputale road met with an accident in close proximity to the Boratale railway crossing. The accident was a result of a mechanical failure in the lorry. The night train was also travelling on the tracks at the very moment, and the driver managed to prevent a massive accident.
Reporter Bandaravela T.M. Rija.
The celebrated novelist Charles Dickens is being remembered by the world for his compelling novels as the world marks his 202nd birth anniversary today. Newsfirst Stephanie Lazarus filed this report.
Please, sir, I want some more.
A coming-of-age story about an orphan. Oliver Twist was the second novel by Charles Dickens and one of his most famous works, known for his portrayal of criminals. Ardent believer of how lives could be changed by simply sharing literature among the rich and the poor, Dickens' serialized format of selling his books not only gave the rich to experience his work, gave the poor a taste of it too. His own story is one of rage to riches. Charles John Huffman Dickens was born in Portsmouth on the 7th of February 1812 to John and Elizabeth Dickens. The good fortune of being sent to school at the age of 9 was short-lived because his father, inspiration for the character of Mr. Micawber in David Copperfield, was imprisoned for bad debt. Growing up determined to make something of himself, Dickens, who was pulled out of school twice to provide an income for his family, started writing and reporting for two major newspapers in London. This job became the launching point of his writing career. Charles Dickens took the world by storm in the early 19th century with books like Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, David Copperfield, The Pickwick Papers, while The Mystery of Edwin Drood, which he wrote in the latter part of his life, that is before his death, which is an unfinished book, still lives up to its name, a mystery. A social critique, writer and famous novelist, inspiration to all novelists and readers alike, Charles Dickens is regarded as the greatest novelist of the Victorian era.
ඒ වෙලාවේ ළමයි හෙල්ල විසිකිරීම පුහුණුවේ නිරත වෙලා තියෙනවා මම ඒ බවක් දන්නේ නැහැ ග්‍රවුන්ඩ් එකට ගියා විතරයි මේ ටීචර් කෙනෙක් කතා කර ඉන්නකොට පිටිපස්සෙන් ඇවිල්ලා කොහොම හරි මට වැදුනා මගේ තිබිච්ච වාසනාවකට කොහොම හරි සුව වුණා.
Now those were the views expressed by a student who suffered serious injuries after being struck by a javelin during sports training at a school grounds in Amblipitia. He was fortunate to have survived that incident, yet there are those who are not that fortunate.
Now tonight, Newsfirst delves deeper into the accidents that students fall victim to within and outside school premises.
Over the recent past, a number of incidents were reported where minors suffered injuries from accidents within school premises and out. A student from a school in Colombo died after he was trapped in between a wall and a grass roller. A student from school in Gaul died while he was preparing for the inter-houses sports meet. Meanwhile, a student from a school in Galgamore died yesterday after falling from a coconut tree. According to the Sri Lanka Standards Institute, there are 4 important features that need to be followed for health and protection at any establishment. They are: identify the threat, document the process to minimize the threat, raising awareness and observe if the proper procedures are followed.
There are internationally recognized standards for the protection and hygiene at schools, a professional management system. I believe that if a certain program is followed to be implemented at schools, unsafe incidents can be prevented and there can be a progress.
The Ministry of Education has decided to introduce a new safety procedure that will help prevent students falling victim to accidents within the school premises. Secretary to the Ministry, Anura Dissanayake, said that the new mechanism will be based on the mechanism followed by other countries for the safety of students in schools. Anura Dissanayake also said that the Ministry hopes to draw the focus of the parents when the students are engaged in school activities. Dr. Kapila Jayaratna, a specialist doctor, said that 206,000 children under the age of 16 fall victim to accidents per year in Sri Lanka. He added that 6,250 of those victims succumbed to their injuries. Dr. Kapila Jayaratna went on to say that most of the deaths were as a result of choking, road accidents, bitten by canines, broken bones, drowning, poisoning, snake bites and burnt injuries. According to police records, in the year 2012, 185 persons under the age of 18 died from accidents. In the year 2013, 118 children died from unfortunate accidents.
We see the importance of a medical unit at each school that should not only cater to the physical ailments of students but should also function as a center to create a healthy mentality among the students. I see that there is an importance of managing such a center.
Before wrapping up the news, just a reminder, you can follow the stories we just aired by simply logging on to our website www.newsfirst.lk.
You can also post your comments on news stories that we are following at Newsfirst. You can also like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter on the handle at Newsfirst_EN.
For the Newsfirst team, I'm Sonali Wanigababage.
And I'm Nadim Majid. Good night and good luck.
First at 9. Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.